Good morning. Just wanting to pull some cards for fun and figured I'd record it, so here I am. Have the dowsing chart, so I have all my decks are numbered with little numbers on them. And you can see they're 15. Yeah, 15. And then have the numbers on this dowsing chart. So we will see what we get. I've been asking myself why do I do this, and what do I get out of it, and what I get out of it is growth, because everything that I've ever recorded seems to be some growth point for me. And yesterday I was just like, why do I even do this? Because the mind likes to fight our own freedom, I guess, because it wants to try to keep us safe. Anyways, it wasn't about money, it wasn't about views, it wasn't about being seen. It was literally like I've surrendered so much that it's just about following my excitement. And for some reason, just translating energy through cards is exciting to me, and sharing it with you all is exciting to me. I just hope that like-minded people will find me. And what do we got here? 3. Where is the 3 deck? Oh my gosh. It's downstairs. It's just the Rider-Tarot. Maybe I should go get it real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's see what we have. Are we just doing one deck? Just one deck? Another deck? We have a second deck that wants to come out with it. Whew, I ran down the stairs and back up. What is this? 30? That's the angel cards. Those ones like to fly out. All they're very small and hard to shuffle. And is that all the decks? Yes. Thank you. So these, when I was a kid, this was like the very first deck thing that I had, but it wasn't like, it's these little angel cards, but it wasn't in a nice box like this with this nice book. And like it has this whole box, and then there's a tiny little box in here. If it wants to come out. Okay. Oh yeah. I was reading, it said remove this piece to reveal. So these are all the cards, and they're like super small. So we will see how that plays out. Oh, and there goes some of them. They're all face down, so we won't look. Just sitting there for now. All right, let's get a little shuffle and see what we have. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's Thursday. I was thinking about maybe going to the pool today, but it looks kind of cloudy out there. Oh, Devil showed itself. Six of Swords on the bottom. Ooh, we got the Hermit. Someone's looking into something or searching within, looking at their life. What is with this Hermit? What's his light shining on? This star in here for some reason is, I don't know if anybody's played Animal Crossing, but it reminds me of the star fragment. It's literally like the same little sheet. Put the, so you guys can see it a little bit. Hermit. Ooh, the Ten of Pentacles. It could be looking at one's own health. Or I've also sometimes see Pentacles as like guides, but because we are part of everything and everything is part of us, they're like aspects of these like divine masters are aspects of us and we are aspects of them. And there's a lot of overlap, but there's no two that are the same. On the bottom we have Six of Cups. So looking back, I don't really like looking back because the past is illusion, but it's one of the hardest things to not look at because our mind can only look back. And so as long as you're listening to your mind, your thoughts, your memories, it's all built on past experiences. And it can be disorienting. Let's see what's here. Page of Cups and Temperance. It literally feels like, see how she's giving a cup? And this is the cup that feels like that's a Page of Cups. And there's Temperance. The other person took that cup and transmutated it. It looks like that's literally what this feels like. And the Ten of Pentacles is doing exactly that, changing the energy. But it's something that will affect like generations. Let's get one more. Thank you. We have the World. Okay, so maybe we've looked into every aspect of a past situation and its closed cycle. We have the Page of Pentacles on the bottom and the Six of Cups is showing again. It feels like there's something that was learned and it's a gift. Let's see what else is showing here. Ooh, we have the Eight of Wands. It feels like, I want to say a gift because that means it's something that you don't already have and you literally have access to being and doing anything you want. Just really imagine it and ignore the circumstances, ignore, I don't want to say like ignore what's here and now because there is a need to be present, but focus on that one thing. So for instance, for me, as I've talked about before, I fell into a cult and I didn't know it was a cult. I was 18 and I didn't know. I was just being gaslit a lot. But they gave, I've done a massive amount of healing on that whole situation. And the one thing that really pushed me through, not even say pushed me or carried me, it was like they taught me like this poem when I lived with them, and supposedly one of them wrote it, but I can't really believe any stories. And anyways, it felt and resonated so deeply with me that was like, that's what I thought was happening or was supposed to be happening. I'll share it with you guys. I'll try to recite it. It is on my wall over there, but there once was a time when all was love, when we knew our place as children from above, a time when we would walk together as men, and there was not the knowledge as to what was sin. when beauty and peace were a thing of this earth, and not one man on earth had yet hungered or thirst. Soon shall it be, as it was then, when we shall walk together as men. For our Father shall come to his children from above, and then we all shall know this thing called love. For in the beginning it was, in the end it shall be. There is nothing but love. Soon all shall believe. And that speaks highly of like innocence, an innocent state. There is no sin. It feels like I took that, you know, I went through all these truths of the past, and that one carried me through learning about all of this. And we have Judgment on the bottom and the three of Swords, and that just fits my story. I'm more than certain that this resonates with other people because, like I said, there's a lot of overlap. I'd like to get another card. We'll just do 2 more, please. One for the Ten of Pentacles in the World. Woo! Dang, that just hit my water bottle like hard. We have the Hierophant. It looks like by taking the lessons we learn, by taking the past situations, reframing trauma as lesson, and learning from it, you become your own Hierophant. You become your own Emperor. This is giving the Emperor vibes too, but it's like a combination because that's the World and the Hermit, the Ten of Pentacles. On the bottom we have 10 of Cups and the Sun. So it does feel like the Sun is like touching someone's skin. And I just shifted the cards a little bit. We have the Five of Wands and the Magician. It really just feels like going deep, and there's that pentacle right there, going deep and with effort, you know, really putting in elbow grease. And then over here we had the Judgment showing again. So self-judgment, you know, because sometimes I don't know, when I was going through and coming out of a lot of the stuff I went through, it was at the end, it was, I was actually watching some reading. I'm trying to remember her channel. I can't remember, but she has red hair, and oh well, she was talking about calling justice, calling for justice and judgment, and it was kind of like taboo to me. Not taboo, but it was just like I actually felt like I don't want to do that because I love these people, so I don't want to call judgment on them. And I feel a little emotional saying that because I've called a lot of judgment since then. But that's how I felt. I didn't want them to have to face themselves because, I don't know, because I was like, really felt like they could just see who they already are, not who they're projecting to be, who they are. And I could see it, and so calling judgment and stuff was difficult, but I feel like I got a little bit off track. We'll just get used to that. We have a lot of 10s. We have, well, it's actually 9, but there's a lot of X's. 9, 10, and then we have 21. The Ace of Pentacles, the Hierophant. We get one more for the World and the World. Next to the Hierophant. 5 of Swords. And this kind of goes back to this story we hear a lot is, you know, being in competition and not really knowing it. And I feel like, so we'll look at the bottom in a second. I feel like in this situation, with this like card spread, you could be on both sides of this, where you walked away and you're sad, or feel like maybe you lost something, and you could be the last one standing because you accidentally kind of won because you didn't even know there was a competition. So it's kind of like just dropping the swords, and maybe you never even were holding a sword. So it could feels a little bit like the moon, a little bit confusion with the gray clouds there. I'm gonna actually clarify that with the Hierophant, or just the Five of Swords, please. Although it's like the gray kind of blends into that. We got the Knight of Pentacles. And I think that's again going back to what I was saying here about taking the experiences and turning them into knowledge. Turning them into knowledge. Like, what can I learn from this situation? And so what can we learn from a situation that just feels like confusion? Like, you walked away and you won. You didn't even know you're in a competition. So what is the lesson in that? So maybe he's just still trying to figure it out, like he has. And maybe that's the confusion part, is like you still have that same pentacle. And you haven't even gone anywhere, and you're like, kind of like, WTF. Maybe we'll do one more row here. The angel cards are still sitting over there, and I know they wanted to come out. So Hierophant and the Five of Swords, please. 4:33 on the clock. 14:33. Woo! I almost threw half. That's Hierophant, Five of Swords. We have the Two of Wands. I'm not really liking this energy because it does feel like opposing energy, as these two are backs are facing each other. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Cups on the bottom. It looks like the Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Swords is showing. But this does seem like a different energy. It doesn't have to be. It could be both. It is always this and that. And whatever else. It's a 10 million different interpretations. But maybe that is the gift, being able to see what others can't. Page of Pentacles and the Hierophant, please. We got the Ten of Cups. This feels a little bit like, especially with the Hierophant and looking back up at this 10 of Pentacles, does feel like focusing on just yourself and not that, like literally looking away from the battle. Both of these people are off the battlefield. This one's walking that way, that one's looking the other way. And we have the 10 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands, Two of Cups, Death, the Emperor, Queen of Wands, Knight of Swords. This Knight of Swords always reminds me of like the first person on the battlefield, like running out there for Team Air. It does. It always reminds me like that's the front runner for the air signs, but on a battlefield at least. Doesn't have to be a battlefield. It could be literally just bettering ourselves. But we have an Ace of Wands, so it does seem like an idea of some sort. Or just doesn't even have to be an idea or something to figure out. It's something that already is accessible to us. I think we got another 10. What can we learn about this Ace of Wands, please? I feel like it's just that there's magic in that lesson. Or that you just never let go. Never let go of it. And just going despite what the mind says, despite what other people say. That's kind of what I'm getting with the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands. It's like just, and the Ace of Wands. It's like just go for it. And it will lead to happiness. There already is happiness. And it literally seems like another Ace of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Magician. And there's your battlefield right there. But is it really a battlefield? We have honesty. I think that's one of the biggest things, is just be honest. Honest with yourself and honest with others. I've always been like, I don't believe in lying at all, even if I know it's going to hurt somebody. If somebody, I have in the past when I was younger, you know, not, I guess it is kind of telling half-truths, but more not the whole story, but that's still half-truth. But I know I've had times in my life where I didn't, where people said, why did you even tell them that? And it's like, because my storage is running low on my phone, so let's try to get a couple angel cards. We have harmony, honesty, and we have harmony. I love these little depictions on here. So honesty, she's looking herself in the mirror. And harmony, it's 3 angels singing together. On the bottom we have healing. Here at least stack. We're just dropping all the cards now, it's okay. We have one card here that wants to show itself. Flexibility. And a little angel there folding herself up, touching her toes. And this card's stuck out. Looks like my cat has had a couple bites of that one. You can see the little cat bite marks in there. I think I'll find one card real quick. Oh, it looks like my cat has both eaten the honesty card and the courage card, and I know for sure the depth card, wherever it is, has even taken a bath in her water bowl. She likes to put stuff in the water. But it's not coming out, so even though it's fatter than all the other cards. So I think the message is just be honest with yourself. You know, love yourself and take those early dreams in your life and really just harness the power, the energy that's already there that you felt in whatever. It could just be a memory. Yes, the mind is looking back, and the memories aren't even always exactly how it happened, because it's just reconstructing from an emotional charge. Yeah, it feels like there's trust, but it's literally being honest with yourself. If you can just be honest with yourself. And this card is really like, it's really like chewed up and stuff. My cat. So be honest even if you're gonna get chewed up. That's what I'm getting. Alright, I love you guys. I hope you have a good day. I might do another message later today. I just want to get one out early before I go do some house stuff. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.